Welcome to The Explainer. Now, you probably think you know the story of Macbeth, right? It's this classic tale of ambition, murder, and divine punishment. But what if that's the completely wrong way to look at it? Today, we're diving into a really radical reinterpretation of the tragedy. One that isn't told from on high, but from way, way down below. So this is the standard take. The view from Mount Olympus, let's call it. From up there, the story is a pretty straightforward morality tale. A guy breaks the universal rules, messes with the natural order, and, well, he gets what's coming to him. Simple as that. But then you get this other voice, a dissenting opinion from the underworld, and it offers a totally different and honestly, a much more unsettling perspective. Mephistopheles says, forget about divine order. This isn't about the cosmos. It's about one man's very human, very modern psychological breakdown. Okay, so let's get into it. First things first, let's just quickly lay out the story the way we've all been taught it, through the eyes of the gods. From that heavenly viewpoint, the timeline is crystal clear. It's like a set of dominoes. The witches push the first one, ambition. That knocks over the next one, murder. And that murder unleashes all this tyranny and paranoia that can only possibly end one way, with a big, divine smackdown and putting everything back in its proper place. So the crucial point here is that what Macbeth did, it wasn't just illegal. It was a sin against the fabric of the universe itself. All the chaos that follows, that's just the cosmos course-correcting. It's basically a cosmic lesson, a big, don't try this at home sign for the rest of humanity. All right, so that's the view from the top. Now let's head downstairs and hear the argument from the other side. Mephistopheles claims this neat and tidy moral story completely misreads who Macbeth was. He thinks the gods are just seeing order and chaos, when they should be seeing something way more interesting. The idea here is that Macbeth wasn't just some power-hungry thug. He was living in a world where all those old certainties, the divine right of kings, the natural order of things, were already starting to rot from the inside. He wasn't smashing a perfect system. He was just kicking through the rubble of one that was already falling apart. And the witches, in this version, they're not agents of fate. They're more like messengers of cosmic indifference. They don't actually tell Macbeth to do anything. They just hold up a mirror to the universe and reveal a wild truth. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Basically, there's no rule book. And that means you are terrifyingly, thrillingly, completely free. Now this slide really gets to the heart of the whole thing. It just lays out the two different ways of seeing the conflict. The gods see a moral problem, ambition versus order. But Mephistopheles, he sees a psychological one, a failure of nerve. The question isn't whether Macbeth broke the rules. The real question is whether he could actually handle the freedom of there being no rules at all. So if his big sin wasn't ambition, what was it? Well, according to Mephistopheles, it was a huge psychological mistake, a complete failure to understand the power he'd just grabbed. And this is the absolute core of the argument. Macbeth wanted the prize of the strong man, the crown, which you get by acting in a world that has no gods or morals. But he couldn't let go of the conscience of a weak man, a guy who deep down still believed in good and evil. So his mind gets caught in this impossible tug-of-war between what he did and what he still believed, and it just starts to crack. It starts creating phantoms, like this famous dagger. It's not a supernatural omen. Nope, it's just a projection of his own inner torment. This is why he can't find any peace. It's not because the gods are punishing him. It's because he can't escape his own morality, the very thing he tried to overcome. He basically became his own judge, his own jury, and his own personal torturer. And the ghost of Banquo scene? It's the perfect illustration of this. There was no ghost. It was just an empty stool. But Macbeth was so eaten up by his own bad conscience that his mind literally projected his guilt onto that chair for everyone in the room to see. This is the prison he built for himself. Think about it. He achieved total freedom from any kind of divine judgment, only to judge himself more harshly than any god ever could. He became a slave to the exact same values he was supposed to have left behind. To really nail down this philosophy, Mephistopheles tells a little side story. It's like a roadmap for what Macbeth was trying to do and how badly he failed. So here's the tough path to true freedom, as Mephistopheles sees it. It's not enough just to realize the old rules are meaningless and take what you want. You also have to have the mental toughness to completely throw out the guilt that came with those old rules. And then, and this is the key, create brand new values to live by. And this right here is his failure in a nutshell. He was great at step 2. He seized power, no problem. But he hit a total brick wall at step 3. He could not shed his guilt. And because of that, he was completely blocked from ever reaching step 4. He couldn't create anything new. He could only destroy. All of this brings us to his famous final words. And when you look at them through this lens, they're not some grand philosophical statement. They're actually a really personal, kind of pathetic confession. Mephistopheles argues that Macbeth isn't making a point about the universe. I mean, the fact that the universe signifies nothing, that was the big truth the witches gave him at the very beginning. No, this speech is a comment on his own life. His tale was told by an idiot, himself, because he completely failed to create any meaning or significance for himself. So really, the critical point is that he looked straight into the abyss, and he just couldn't handle the freedom that was staring back at him. He was strong enough to kill a king, but he was too weak to live without the comfort of having kings and rules and good and evil. And that's the ultimate takeaway from this whole dark parable, isn't it? It's a challenge that's way bigger than just one play. It's asking us, if you tear down the old world, do you actually have the strength to build a new one from the pieces? Or will you just end up haunted by the ghosts of what you destroyed?